It's Wednesday's market SITREP here at TGO. Top Gun Options. I'm Wiz, Matthew Buckley, the chief options strategist here at TGO. And folks, journalism died 2 deaths in the past, was it, year and a half. One was election night, and one was yesterday as the president's personal physician gave an hour-ish long press conference on the guys. The guy peeled off his skin in front of the country, and you had reporters, CNN reporters tweeting last night, "We don't believe the president's weight. He should step on a scale in front of us." Seriously, folks, hopefully you watched that yesterday and you just see how out of the mental state between journalists and the president, I'm pretty sure yesterday we figured out who was nuts. So there's your daily political update along with this. Remember, and let's take a look at the VIX. Let's take a look at the VIX today. Why? We're having another rip your face off rally today. What did I tell you guys? What did I tell my members yesterday? I said, hey, folks, don't worry about this little bit of a sell-off in the mid-afternoon, the 2 o'clock afternoon sell-off. With a rip your face off open, that tends to happen. The VIX, when I pressed record about 30 seconds ago, was up about 12% today. Look at this. Big spike in the VIX, and then, not when I pressed play, when I was doing my research a little while ago, VIX was up about 10 or 12%. Way over 12. And look at this. So for my members, we did a bearish double vertical on VXX. Now take a look. If you're creeped out about your VXX trade, take a look at it. VXX is actually down 1%. So if you got filled on that bearish double vertical yesterday, you're already making some sweet money. But let's get back to the VIX. So that trade's looking good from yesterday. Here's what's going on, folks, is we might have a government shutdown by Friday. Now I'm seeing some Democrats come out of the woodwork who have a brain who are saying, okay, we're going to get totally hit with this. It looks like we're going to close down the government because we support illegal immigrants. That ain't good. And the DHS came out with a report yesterday that said 3 out of every 4 terrorist offenders since 9/11 in the United States were foreign-born. So let's just keep everybody coming on in, folks. If Arab countries aren't taking immigrants, why are we? So they're not even taking in their, this is insane. And hopefully everybody got a chance to see the senator from New Jersey, Cory Booker, big black guy, right? Ripping apart, this poor defenseless DHS secretary, this white woman. Now we know who's going to play OJ in the next made-for-TV movie. That was disgusting. Could you imagine if Senator Lindsey Graham had ripped apart African-American National Security Advisor Susan Rice like that yesterday in front of the Senate? That CNN, Jim Acosta's face would have melted off. So, folks, the politics is getting disgusting. Why am I ranting about this? Because this is what's causing the market to do this. If you ain't trading politics, folks, if you're just trading charts or fundamentals or earnings per share and PE, you're going to get blown out. We trade politics, we trade PE, we trade charts, we trade everything here at TGO and fundamentals, and we do pretty damn good. So bearish double vertical on VXX is looking great, even with the VIX up 5%. So hopefully you got filled on that trade yesterday in our joint weekly options and primary live trade brief. And what did I tell everybody as well with the Amazon bull put spread? Amazon bull put spread, I said, smoke a Lucky Strike and relax, man. It's Tuesday. So Amazon's hanging out. We were up pretty high earlier. Where were we? We opened up here at 13.14, and it's doing this. So again, it's Tuesday. Relax on this. Take a Lucky Strike. I don't think this is too bad. All right, and we're using that VXX as a hedge. Real quick on the military front, U.S. Navy did file negligent homicide charges against in these 2 ship collisions. Why do I bring this up? The dude that pressed the missile alert button in Hawaii. This is what happens in government, folks, especially in a Democrat-run state like Hawaii. The guy wasn't fired. He caused panic for 37 minutes. Parents are throwing their kids in sewers, for Christ's sake. People are thinking they're going to die. He's going to be reassigned. He's going to be retrained. In the Navy, we're court-martialing you, and we're charging you with negligent homicide. This is the difference between the Navy and the business world, folks, or the military and the business world, and the government. We hold people accountable, and we get better. So this doesn't happen again, or it's few and far between. Take that to heart, Democrats. Goldman Sachs, the Death Star, the first quarterly loss in 6 years, folks. I nailed it. I can't stand Goldman Sachs anymore. Lloyd Blankfein, typical limousine liberal. He sucks. He's a bad skipper. He needs to resign. resign. There's Wiz saying get bearish on Goldman Sachs, and we should pound this thing into the dirt. It's a bad financial. Being a JP Morgan or a Morgan Stanley or a Wells Fargo or a Visa or a MasterCard, dump Goldman Sachs. I warned you. Bank of America actually made money, even with a huge one-time tax charge that they pulled forward, made money. They're also selling off today, I think, in a little bit of the Goldman Sachs shadow. Here's your Bitcoin update for the day. It's getting obliterated, dipping below $10,000. I'm not answering some of the calls from my friends on my cell phone because I warned them, folks. They don't know. They didn't understand what a market would be. I said, hey, when this thing, not if, I said when this thing pops, because everybody figures out it's a Ponzi scheme, you're not going, well, I'm up $5,000, Wiz. No, you're not. Well, look at my cell phone. It says up $5,000. I said, when the route starts, you won't be able to get out of it. So, I will call my buddies back. Obviously, that's why they're my buddies. But there's a bid and an ask, and right now there ain't a mid-market. So this is really getting bad, and this is why it's the Wild West. It's unregulated. China, South Korea, as opposed to reports the other day that said, initially reports were they're going to ban it. Then they said, no, of course we're not going to ban it. And then reports came out and said that report was fake news. We are going to ban this stuff. Get out of this stuff, folks. Wait until they trade options on it. That's when you know it's real and it's regulated and it's established. Otherwise, it's the Wild West. U.S. industrial production surges in December to a record high, above its look at this, back to Nov of 2007. Look at industrial production. So the economy, folks, I really think is hitting on all cylinders. As we talked about, Trump is finally starting to get a little bit of credit for this stuff. Where is it? Economists finally crediting Trump as a tailwind for U.S. growth. Remember, for 8 years, Barack Obama claimed the really crappy economy was George Bush's fault, and now he's going to take credit when it's good. So apparently there's one day somewhere between Bush and Trump where Obama's going to claim credit for this. GE, folks. GE, just a heads up, GE is getting a little bit more shellacked today. It's down another 4%. It was down about this much yesterday. We're back down to where we got into it about a month ago, right around here. I'm fine with this. I'm actually doubling up on my GE. Any pullback like this, we're gonna start doubling up. This thing, here's the problem with GE today is people are saying, all right, Skipper, we respect you for coming out yesterday and saying, hey, we should break this thing up. He didn't float that idea yesterday, folks. When the skipper says that on a call like that, it's because they've thought about it and whiteboarded it out. Now they're going to hold his feet to the fire and say, hey, this needs to be done in a year. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell it's going to be done in a year. So we might have a little bit further to follow on here, but I'm going to use this to double up on my GE position. We're going to talk about this today in accelerated retirement at 1 o'clock. Okay? All right, folks, I got to run. Got to look at some other portfolios. I got to call all my Bitcoin millionaires who are now not millionaires back and try and explain supply and demand, a bid and ask, and what a market is to them and why they should be trading options. Okay? Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll see many of you in accelerated retirement at 1 o'clock.